Captain, before we step onto this making and growing island, tell me, what does build make you feel when it means to construct something, to develop something step by step, and the shape or body structure of a person or animal? Meaning 1. To construct or make something by putting parts together. Used when people create a house, ship, wall, system, or other thing piece by piece. Example: they will build a stronger dock before winter arrives. Common use: build a house, build a bridge, build with wood. Build the dock. Meaning 2. To develop, increase, or create something gradually over time. Used when trust, skill, strength, business, or another result grows step by step. Example: daily practice helped the crew build confidence on rough water. Common use: build trust, build strength, build a habit. Build your strength. Meaning 3. The shape or body structure of a person or animal. Used for the natural physical form or frame of someone or something living. Example: the horse had a strong build and moved with calm power. Common use: strong build, slim build, heavy build. Strong build horse. Build can be a verb or a noun. As a verb, it often means constructing something physical or developing something gradually over time. As a noun, it refers to body shape or physical frame. Shape each step with patience, Captain. Carry build for the work that raises something real from many parts. For the slow growth that turns effort into strength, and for the natural frame that gives living power its form as we sail to the next island. Captain, before we step onto this line and support island, tell me, what does column make you feel when it means a tall, upright support, a vertical line of words or numbers, and a regular section written by one person in a newspaper or magazine? Meaning 1. A tall, upright support or pillar. Used for a vertical structure that holds up part of a building or stands as a strong feature. Example: the old hall was lined with stone columns near the entrance. Common use: stone column, marble column, support column. Stone column hall. Meaning 2. A vertical line of words, numbers, or information. Used for information arranged from top to bottom in a table, chart, or page. Example: she checked the final column of numbers before closing the report. Common use: first column, last column, column of figures. Column of figures. Meaning 3. A regular section written by one person in a newspaper or magazine. Used for a part of a publication where the same writer shares opinions, ideas, or advice. Example: his weekly column often explored life in small coastal towns. Common use: newspaper column, opinion column, write a column. Coastal column weekly. Column most commonly means a tall, upright support in architecture or a vertical line of information on a page. In publishing, it also means a regular written section by the same writer. Stand tall in structure and thought, Captain. Carry column for the upright support that holds weight. For the vertical line that brings order to information. And for the written voice that returns week after week with meaning as we sail to the next island. Captain. Before we step onto this honesty and trick island, tell me, what does cheat make you feel when it means to act dishonestly to gain an advantage, to trick someone and take something unfairly, and a person who behaves in such a dishonest way? Meaning 1. To act dishonestly in order to gain an advantage. Used when someone breaks rules in a test, game, race, or competition to win unfairly. Example: he tried to cheat during the card game by hiding an extra card. Common use: cheat on a test, cheat in a game, cheat to win. Cheat to win. Meaning 2. To trick someone and take money, trust, or something valuable unfairly. Used when a person deceives someone in order to get an unfair benefit. Example: the trader tried to cheat the crew by changing the price at the last moment. Common use: cheat someone out of money, cheat a customer, cheat by lying. Cheat the crew. Meaning 3. A person who acts dishonestly or unfairly. Used as a noun for someone known for breaking trust or rules. Example: no one wanted to sail with a cheat after the false deal. Common use: call someone a cheat, known cheat, dishonest cheat. Known cheat. Cheat can be a verb or a noun. As a verb, it often means breaking rules unfairly or tricking someone for personal gain. As a noun, it means a dishonest person who behaves that way. Guard fairness with a clear mind, Captain. Carry cheat for the dishonest act that bends the rules. For the trick that steals trust or value. And for the person who chooses unfairness over honor as we sail to the next island. Captain. Before we step onto this number and judgment island, tell me, what does calculate make you feel when it means to work out a number, to judge something carefully before acting, and to do something in a cold, planned, and precise way? Meaning 1. To work out a number by using math. Used when someone finds an amount, total, distance, or answer through counting or mathematics. Example: she calculated the travel time before the tide changed. Common use: calculate the cost, calculate the distance, calculate the total. Calculate the total. Meaning 2. To judge or plan something carefully before acting. Used when someone thinks ahead, weighs risk, and makes a careful decision. Example: he calculated every move before entering the narrow channel. Common use: calculate the risk, calculate your next step, calculate carefully. calculate the risk. Meaning 3, to act in a cold, planned, and precise way. Used for a person, decision, or action that feels controlled, deliberate, and not emotional. Example, her calm answer sounded calculated rather than spontaneous. Common use, calculated move, calculated answer, calculated decision. Calculated decision. Calculate most commonly means working out numbers, but it is also often used for careful judgment and planning. In a stronger descriptive sense, it can suggest a person or action that feels cool, deliberate, and highly controlled. Think with precision and move with purpose, Captain. Carry calculate for the numbers that guide safe choices, for the careful judgment that reads risk before action, and for the controlled decision that reveals a deeply planned mind as we sail to the next island. Captain, before we step onto this damage and collapse island, tell me, what does breakdown make you feel when it means a mechanical failure, a collapse in health or emotional control, and a division of something into smaller parts for clearer understanding? Meaning 1, a mechanical failure or stop in operation. Used when a machine, vehicle, or system stops working properly. Example, the boat suffered a breakdown just before reaching the harbor. Common use, engine breakdown, car breakdown, breakdown in service. Breakdown alert. Meaning 2, a collapse in health, strength, or emotional control. Used when a person becomes unable to cope physically or emotionally. Example, weeks of pressure led to a sudden breakdown after the voyage ended. Common use, nervous breakdown, emotional breakdown, mental breakdown. Breakdown after stress, meaning 3, a division into smaller parts for explanation or analysis. Used when information, costs, or ideas are separated into clear sections. Example, she gave the crew a full breakdown of the repair costs. Common use, cost breakdown, detailed breakdown, breakdown of results. Breakdown of costs. Breakdown often means a failure in a machine or system, but it also commonly describes a person collapsing under physical or emotional pressure. In analytical contexts, it means dividing something into smaller parts to explain it clearly. Face failure, pressure, and detail with steady eyes, Captain. Carry breakdown for the sudden stop that disables a machine, for the human collapse that follows too much strain, and for the careful division that helps us understand the whole as we sail to the next island.